So we're going to do 6-3, just finding the inverse, page 312, numbers 17 to 18. So copy down 17. We have to find the inverse of y equals 4 to the x. All right? So first step, switch the x and the y. Now, it might be easier for you if I write it this way. Because, while the first step is to switch the x and the y, which you should write in your notes, the next step is going to be to swoosh. Okay? So we start at our base, we swoosh all the way around, and we write out log base 4 of x equals y. That's the inverse, okay? By the way, you need to make a note of this in your book. This equation and this equation right here are equal. They're the same, which is going to come in to play when we graph, okay? So, to find the inverse, switch the x and the y, swoosh it, that's your inverse. Rewrite it as a log, that's your inverse. But these two things are the same, and you'll see later. Okay, now the weird stuff, number 18. To find the inverse of ln, we use e. So write the equation down. Is it just x minus 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
Step 1, switch the x and the y. And I'm just rewriting it with, oh, actually, you know what? That doesn't matter. So, step 1, switch the x and the y. All right? Now, to get rid of the ln, you have two options. The best option, you're just going to make everything an exponent, make e the base. Because if you remember from yesterday, e and ln cancel out. So, all we did was we wrote e as a base for both sides of the equation. It's an equation. If you do one thing to one side and you do the same exact thing to the other side, it is legit. It is a legal math thing. So now, if you remember, e and ln cancel out. So we just have e to the x equals y minus 5. And we just need to get y by itself. So we're going to add 5 to both sides. And here is your inverse. The inverse of ln's should have e's. The inverse of e's should have ln's, by the way. Okay? So switch the x and the y, but ln is a very special case where we just make e the base for both sides, and e and ln next to each other, e to the ln or the ln of e, no matter how you write it, if e and ln touch each other, they cancel out to 1. Okay? So, bless you, y minus 5. All right? I want you to now turn to page 315 and then try 43, 45, and 47.